So because IXL work goes farther than you guys are going to go with multiplying radicals, you're going to do your quote-unquote practice work on Edpuzzle today. So we're going to do 5 problems as review, and then you're going to do about 5 or 6 on your own. So say we had root 5 times root 6. We know that when we're multiplying radicals, when they're both under the radicals, you just multiply the numbers, which 5 times 6 is 30, and then you break it down. So we know 30 automatically goes to 5 and 6, though you could have used 2 and 15 if you want. Are either of these prime? 5 is. What does 6 break down to? 2 and 3. So draw your nice radical, list them from small to big, circle any pairs. Do I have any pairs? No, I do not. So if you remember from the other day, you just multiply your numbers back together. 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30. So this is your answer. Are they all going to be this simple? Absolutely not. But one of them in your practice thing will be. So say we had root 7 times root 8. You have 2 numbers under radicals, so you can multiply those 2 numbers together, and you get root 56. Automatically, I know that these have to be 2 factors. Are either of them prime? 7 is. At this point, you should be like, oh my gosh, I'm sick of seeing the number 8. 8 breaks down to 2 and 4. Circle a 2. 4 breaks down to 2 and 2. So now, draw your nice radical. List your numbers from small to big. Circle your pairs. Remember, pairs have to be the same number. When you cross off a pair, only one comes out. So 2 stays on the outside. I have 2 numbers on the inside, so you multiply them back together. Sorry, that's a multiplication symbol. 2 times 7 is 14. So your answer is 2 root 14. Next one we got is the square root of 14 times the square root of 8. I have no idea what 14 times 8 is, so I'm just going to take my calculator, and it's going to tell me it's 112. Now the great thing about this is I already know my factors, 8 and 14. We know 8 breaks down to 2 and 4. We circle 2. 4 breaks down to 2 and 2. Now, can I just go ahead and set up my radicals and list my numbers? No, I can't, because what number do I have to break down? 14, which goes to 2 and 7, which both are prime, so you circle them. Now I can list my numbers from small to big. And I'm going to circle my pairs. Remember, pairs have to be the same number. When you cross off a pair, 1 comes out. Cross off a pair, 1 comes out. Remember, the reason for that is that 2 times 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So in case you forgot where that came from. So now multiply your numbers on the outside. 2 times 2 is 4. And what's left on the inside? Just a 7. So your answer is 4 square root of 7, or 4 times the square root of 7, or 4 radical 7, or 4 times the radical of 7. All right. 2 more that aren't so bad. We have the square root of 4 squared. Well, you know, when you see an exponent, that means you're multiplying a number times itself, however many times the exponent's there. So in this case, the exponent is the exponent is 2. So I'm doing radical 4 times itself twice. So I'm just writing it twice. Now we know the square root of 4 times square root of 4 is the square root of 16. Know your perfect squares so you don't do extra work. What's the square root of 16? AKA, what times what is 16? 4. So 4 is your answer. Remember, once you take the square root of a number, the square root goes away. Say we had the square root of 6 squared. Again, this squared tells you you're multiplying this number by itself twice. So the square root of 6 times the square root of 6. You know, when you're multiplying radicals, you just multiply the numbers. 6 times 6 is 36. You should automatically know the square root of 36 is 6. And we're just going to do one more problem because I just want to show you something simple. Say we had the square root of 99 squared. So we know this is the square root of 99 times the square root of 99. Now, we could do all this workout and multiply it together, but hopefully you realize the pattern going on here. Whenever you have a square root raised to the second power, the answer is just the number under the radical. So the answer is just 99. If you had this the square root of 232 squared, your answer is just going to be 232. If you have the square root of 1 million squared, your answer is going to be 1 million. So keep that rule in mind because it will make your life easier. Right, you are going to do these practice problems. Root 2 times root 5. Root 12 times root 4. Root 6 times root 10. Root 5 times root 15. The square root of 2 squared. And the square root of 144 squared. So I'm going to give you a second to write those down. And then as the video continues, it's going to be asking you for your answers for each problem. Have a good day, guys.